When I was a young lad, hmm, I used to always hear people older than me say, I don't feel sorry for people. I hear that a lot. I had people tell me, you're not a victim. Tell me that too. I don't feel sorry for you. That's what they would say. Here I am, well into my age, even before then, but well into my age. I don't feel sorry for people. And I feel like there's a hidden universal law to tell us why not to, or we shouldn't. If we are to debate universal laws of attraction, right now, please have common sense, use your brain. I'm talking about adults here. When I talk about adults, I'm talking about well over the age of 28. Okay, that's the adults that I'm talking. 25, make an exception for your 20s, but well over the age of 28, well, damn sure over the age of 30 going up. And adults, grown ups. Here's the thing, when someone is experiencing something, they are experiencing a universal law of attraction because of the way that they think, because of the things they have done, and the things that they hold on to, which means things they keep secret. More so the way that they think, which is universal law, which is vibration. Therefore, when you see, and what's evident of it is their associations, right? That's the evidence of their character. Remember that whole 4 hour long conversation from yesterday? That's the evidence of it, right? And who they associate with is what you can physically see about energetically who they are and their universal laws of attraction on a day-to-day basis. Now, are they not predators? Are they not vultures? Are they not people in this life that give us extreme hard lessons, right? I mean, hard lessons that we must adhere to. Absolutely. There are plenty of people like that. Are there not predators out there? Absolutely, they are. Can you be honest with yourself enough? Again, I told you the age. Can't do nothing about what happened under the age of 25, under the age of fucking 18, under the age of 19, because that energy is still the energy of what's around you. So any form of abuse that you've endured as a child, that was because of the energy of the adults around you that created that amongst you. Okay? Just make that clear. You didn't really have that level of control of yourself as a child, or even as a teenager, anything under 25. You still kind of have the residue of that in your life, whether you realize it or not. Here's the thing, when you are grown and you see somebody going through some shit and they're constantly going through some shit, that's what they're thinking. That's what they're vibrating as. You don't feel sorry for them. Now, then the line goes, well, what about compassion? I think that we can only have compassion for those that we know closely. And I think that's our children. And I feel that that is our parents. Because I can have compassion for my mother. I can have compassion for my father. But then there gets to a level where some of you, that topic is tricky and you need to do with that as you may. Probably don't have compassion and you probably don't feel sorry, and that is your choice. There's nothing wrong with that. It's really not. Whatever spiritual path you walk is going to work for you, regardless of whatever spiritual path you walk. Quiet is kept. People who are super religious, unless Catholic, unless Jewish, very jealous of the path that the spiritual person walks. Very jealous. Don't ever deny that with yourself. They are very jealous, very envious. Because trust me, they see what kind of blessings you get. You may not pay attention to it. You may just like get your blessings and go on and keep striving and doing what you're doing, but they really be watching and seeing what you get. Because the thing of abundance, because we don't really use the word blessings. We say abundance, right? God damn it. Can y'all still hear me? We don't use the word. Am I still here? We don't use the word blessings. We use the word abundance because we know how to have abundance. We know how to appreciate the little bit of abundance that we have. We're quiet manifestors. We're quiet manifestors. We don't jump in the air. We don't look for no one to say amen behind what we say. We don't look for an audience for what we talk about or what we do. Actually, we know that the key to manifesting anything in life is complete motherfucking silence. But let's move on. Not supposed to feel sorry for people. Let me give an example. Big example. You meet somebody, okay? Be careful with liking people. Be careful with that shit at this age, you know? It's okay to like somebody, like a personality, like something about them. Whatever it is that you like. Maybe you're attracted to beauty, you like beauty, you think they're beautiful, whatever. But be careful with that. You got to know, what do I really like about this person? What is this person's character? What do I like about them, right? Or you meet somebody, you like them, their leg fucked up, right? So you decide you want to help them with this, you want to help them with that, because they got a fucked up leg, meaning that it's a temporary fucked up leg. It's not a permanent fucked up leg. And you're doing this, and you're doing that for them, and you're picking up this, and you're picking up that. Then you find yourself to be unappreciated. Then you find yourself to ask this person, they want to be in a relationship with you because you like them that much? And that person says, there's no debate, it's not up for debate, don't want to be with you, and start criticizing your life and your kids and all this shit. So why they don't want to be with you, right? Well, whose fault is that? Now you're crying. Now you upset. Well, I did this for you, and I did that. You know how this conversation go. And I did this, and I was here for you, and I did this, and I did. You didn't have to do that shit. Why did you do that shit? Why did you assume that nobody could help them? So you have to check yourself a lot of times in this situation. See, what is the power in people who are judgmental, bourgeoisie? What is the power in that? They walk away for convoluted energy or energy that do not match them. That's how you have to look at things. I'm judging the lifestyle of this person, the character of this person, because this is not the type of energy I want to be aligned with. You have people out here, especially black people, they talk so nasty. People in general, I don't even want to put race in it. People in general can talk so nasty, right? You have to ask yourself, why are you talking so nasty? What is wrong with you? But that's because that's something within themselves. That's the issue. It ain't even you. But it don't even matter because the fact that they behave in that way, you don't want to fuck with nobody like that, right? You got to keep that first mind, that first feeling. You see? But let's say you got somebody, but I'm gonna tell you why. Tone is everything. Okay? Tone, voice is everything. The tone in someone's voice tell you exactly their intentions of what they're saying to you in a conversation. How do you check somebody? When they use a nasty tone, you look at them. Some people you can just say, I don't like your tone. Some people you can repeat their tone right back to them, depending who you are. Some people just don't give a fuck. So let's get into another example. You meet somebody or you know somebody, something's always going wrong in their life. Something always going wrong. You know what I'm talking about. This relationship going wrong. So now they back at their mama house or their daddy house or grandma or cousin house. They are always arguing. They always crying about something. Always got an attitude. All of this shit. Eventually, what comes with people like that is they're going to start putting that out on you, right? You don't feel sorry for people like this because I guaranteed you, once you sit down and talk to them and ask them about their life and things that they have done, you're going to see it reflected in what's happening in their life. You're going to see it. I will always say to myself a lot of different things, right? A lot of different things that I don't say to myself no more, involving other people anyway. But somebody is really going through some shit, whether it's a spouse cheating, whether it's whatever. This is the energetic vibration that they are manifesting. Because it comes off sometimes as stupid, right? After a while, it does. It'd be like, man, this person's stupid, right? But what it is this is their person, this is this is who this person is energetically, and this is what they keep vibrating, and this is what they're going to keep attracting throughout their life. That's what it is. That's the that's the answer to everything. And I promise you, and when I say I promise you that is the full answer. I have met people in distraught situations like homelessness. Um, I have I'm from the concrete jungle, so I've met so many all kinds of kind of people. And I've met people who finished college, going to art school, and I've seen them still can have a mindset, a bit of a sad mindset, even though they have all these accomplishments. I've seen people who they can get a degree and they still just don't feel satisfied. And so what's going on is what you are witnessing is that person has to find it in themselves to self reflect. That person has to look at their own shit. See, I see people who have a bunch of people around them. I used to do that when I was in my damn young 20s. They got a bunch of fucking people around them, just a bunch of fucking people. Like, who are all these fucking people? That is energetically telling you something in this person needs the comfort of others. Something in this person needs the presence of other people constantly in their face and constantly around them. And so, therefore, this is a person that if you look good, if you put on a fly outfit, they think that that's what you're trying to do. So it's not personal. You and this is where you end up cursing people out, and they say reading people and this, down the third. And I trust you that after a certain time in your life, you ain't even trying to do all that to people unless they call for it. Some people you're gonna ignore them. It's more sometimes it's more power than ignoring a motherfucker than anything. And the thing is, I am my goal of what I'm really reaching out to you to say is more than don't feel sorry for people. I want you to know how to energetically read around people. And I need you to check yourself. And I need you to look around like, why is this person even in my life? What is going on in my life at this time that this person right here is in it? What are the key lessons that I need to learn from this? I had was thinking about a lot of things, how cold I can be, how detached I am. And I think about how I just sometimes don't care, right? But I do move very strategically. And thought about how I went through the situation I went through last year. And I was like, something in me was feeling for this person, right? I caught myself. Something in me was feeling sorry. Whether I may not want to admit it or not, but I was feeling sorry. But my actions were very aggressive. But here's why. When you live a life moving wisely, is equivalent to me knowing a woman who had one child and she said, I can't afford more than one child. That's wisdom. Just like I had three of them. I couldn't afford three children. I barely could afford one. If I was more honest with myself, I would have never had any more children. That's wisdom. To say, all right, I got one child going to college. What is this next child going to do? I may have to reach out to the other parent for the next child, or we can split, we do something, or reach out to the parent now with this child. That's wisdom. And then there is um other things in life and choices that you make. You make wise choices and say, okay, I moved into this apartment. This is my apartment. I'm going to do what I need to do to pay this rent and take care of myself in this apartment. Now, I went through a lot of self sabotage. I went through a lot of energetic blockages. Since those energetic blockages are now gone, I don't have the problems that I was having. But that energetic blockage was symbolism of that person. We're going to get to that in a minute. Because you have to also pay attention to not only your energy, but you have to pay attention to some energies that's not yourself. And then you have to look around yourself and say, well, who the fuck energy is this? Because this is not me. Now look at that too. Then there is this thing. Robert Greene said it in the 48 Laws of Power. Stay away from the miserable, insecure, and unhappy. I'm paraphrasing. That's a big law right there. Stay away from the miserable, insecure, and unhappy. Stay away from people, I'm going to add, who think that they're ugly. Stay away from people who don't have love for themselves. Stay away. Trust me, be around somebody long enough, you're going to find out how they feel about themselves. You're going to find out a lot of shit. You be around somebody long enough. I told you we have these characters that want to manipulate and do slick shit and do all that stuff because they are miserable on the inside. And so on the outside, they reflect all of this because that is how they exude what they believe is their power. And I said to you also, you got to take rejection and pay attention to why it's happening in your life. I'm talking about the rejection of people. Now, if you're experiencing rejection of other things, such as a job and all of that, you got to start looking around the people around you. Okay, you do. But the rejection of you was with this person and then shit didn't work out. You were cool with this person and shit didn't work out. You got to pay attention to all that. All of that is all vibrational. Some people can't pretend too long to be what they're not around certain people for too long. You have to know that as well. Once you're a person that's have knowledge and seven universal laws and all this stuff, spiritual, like when you know all of these, what, seven spiritual laws and all this stuff, when you know this stuff, when you're aware, you can't put this stuff down. It's gonna all reflect in your life. So therefore, there's an awareness that begins to happen in your life in a way that it never did before. I kind of feel for y'all that come into this shit late in your life. I was in this shit very early. And so This is why you don't feel sorry for yourself. Be kind to yourself. You forgive yourself, but you don't feel sorry for yourself. Look at people who be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for that person that just got in that car accident. Oh, let's give this person money. Their brother just died." Look at their life. Look how they get used. Look how they get walked over. Look how they have people staying in their home and then they complaining about it. Look at the patterns that they continue to have in their lives. I ain't praying for nobody in no accident if I don't fucking know you. That person probably wanted to get into that accident. I don't give a fuck if somebody fall in front of my porch. I'm just gonna make sure that motherfucking they don't put blood on my motherfucking porch. Because I don't want they bad juju. So I gotta clean that up. Okay? Get some Florida water, hot water, steam, and clean that shit up. I ain't got time. And what is it about having this kind of mentality that bothers people? Because it gives you a shield of people's manipulations and mind games. It gives you a shield of caring about things that you really shouldn't care about. You see, the problem with people online is they got so much to say. You know what I'm talking about? They look good, this, that, and the third, nails here, everything done. But deep inside, after a while, you see them break, right? Something happens to them publicly, and this, that, and the third. And instead of just like, hey, I'm hurt, my heart broken, let me just kind of chill. They don't want to do that. They got to keep going and keep going to prove something that doesn't need to be proved to anybody. And the fact that they're even experiencing that, that's their experience. Don't feel sorry for them. I see people who for years, I could just feel it. And I remember, was it my landlord up that came out here? I know how to call my landlord. And she had some random dude with her. Don't know, maybe her personal assistant or somebody. Sometimes these people just be having people with them. And he was just like, if you can't pay your utilities, you can go do this job, da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, I know people that did jobs like that. They work with the people who get seizures and stuff. He's like, yeah, I watched this man up, this, that, and the third. And the only thing in my head, I was just thinking about T, because I know that's the kind of work she do. But I was like, yeah, I know people that do that. That was dismissive. I didn't even realize that way of talking is dismissive. I didn't engage in that conversation. And the reason why is because I don't fucking need you telling me how to do anything. Who said that I can't pay my goddamn utilities? The fucking gas bill fucked up. I didn't fuck up. The bill's paid. You done called the line. You see my phone bill paid. They told you that. Ain't nobody lying to you. And see, I don't get offended by that because if I'm not lying, I'm not lying. I'm not a liar. I'm very real. If it didn't get paid, it didn't get paid. If I didn't do it, I just didn't do it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not here to impress nobody. Who the fuck are you? Why do I care about anything about you or impressing you? You have to develop, it's a mentality that comes with this. This is how powerful people are powerful. This is how strong minded people are strong. This is how people are successful. It's this type of mindset that keeps them going. And I didn't get this from a book. This is things that in time, as I was like the more I strive, the more I strive, the more I want, the more I know that I want it, and the more I know I'm going after it, it's the more stronger I've become. And the times I allow myself to be distracted is because I had emotional distractions and I allowed those distractions. But the time in my life where I don't allow myself to be distracted, I don't get distracted. See how it works? And I don't go into the place of if I would have did it sooner. I don't do none of that. It'd be like, yeah, I know what it was. I kept subconsciously attracting all of these distractions and I was self-sabotaging. But that takes a level of awareness. When I sat back and I looked at the people I grew up to know, that I knew since 1920, whatever, and then I see who they're associated with, but I also come to see the jealousy and envy and competition of those people who I see now on TV. That was all an awakening for me. Because if it was meant, if the friendship was supposed to be, then it would have been. But would I had wanted to stay in a friendship like that if that was the energy of the people around me? I would have still attracted the same thing because that's what my energy was vibrating as at the time, as opposed to what my vibration is now. You have to set a standard for yourself, okay? I don't think any woman who's listening to me or any person who's listening to me, I highly doubt that you wham bam and had a bunch of kids out here. I'm being for real. Anybody that I have talked to or listened to on the show either do not have children and have between most two children. I have not met anyone on my show that at my time of being on the show that has three children. Anybody I have met in my time of all these years of doing my show from when I used to be on Blog Talk, anybody, they're wise about how they have children. So I don't have to go into the fiasco of, well, what do you have to do if you have kids? If you asking that question, then you don't belong here. And that's not to be cold. You really don't. Because actually children are the very thing that can help you get to your goals even more. You can utilize them. You can teach them success tips. You can read the books you read, you can read to your children. So if your mindset ain't even there yet, I can't help you. So now you set a template for yourself on how you live life. Somebody is always got a sad story. That's not somebody you want to fuck with. Sometimes I'm trying to tell you, sometimes in some places you can't really control the actions of others so much. People can sense that you may be somebody that's easy to talk to. I am a spiritual practitioner too. You can't That's something you can't hide, no matter how much you try. So people may trust you to talk about things in their lives or to find some kind of answer. They do that, right? You may have it where people may feel you may be the person that could help them, or like, people, manipulators and scammers, they don't stop. They 24 hours, 365 all day. They don't stop, okay? And they're good. Nobody ever wants to admit scammers are fucking good. They got some level of psychic ability down in there. They do. They got some level of psychic ability down in there. They really do. It's just, I've watched it all my life. But anyway, you watch this and you be like, nah. I meet somebody right now, I promise you, I'm be like, are you writing? Are you an artist? Are you an actor? Are you a model? Fashion designer? Interior designer? Architecture? If the answer is no, then I don't want to deal with you. I don't want nothing to do with you because you don't have nothing for me. And there's nothing wrong with having that mentality, y'all. Don't let these relationship gurus tell you the opposite. There's nothing wrong with that mentality. When you're living horse blinders focused and living your life and you're doing the life that you are, or that you're manifesting, people have to meet the standard of what they need to be. People have to meet the standard of whatever it is that you're working towards. Look at anybody. Just pay attention to people who are out here or that are successful. They don't got to be an A-list, B-list celebrity. Just go on your social media and no, I actually, my standard is celebrity status. I don't give a fuck. I look at that status. Anybody who has that status or they work with celebrities, pay attention to the circle of people that is around them. If she writes scripts, she's around actors. She's around set designers. She's around directors. Excuse me. She may, of course, do something with other people, sponsorships that still involve what she do, whether she makes her own, strand of weed, whether she makes her own cigar brand or her own wine brand. She's still manifesting around other people who are in line with what she's doing. And so the connections build up and they build up. But you can't do that. You sitting here a whole novel writer, script writer, interior designer. Shit, you might have it all under your belt. And this person got a family member staying with them that they stressed out about. This person has no hobbies. This person don't even go to Starbucks. What are you energetically gonna do and be with a person like that? You're not. And what is this person gonna do if they get too close? They're gonna get jealous and they're gonna get envious of your life. You know why? Because they're gonna look around, and if you like me, they're gonna be like, it's quiet in here. There's no children running around. There's no man with no shirt on coming through the back. It's it looks beautiful outside. The flowers, the porch is decorated with everything, and it looks nice. And soon there's gonna be a garden up in the front, right? They're looking at that, and it's like they're coming through, like, well, but they can't. They're gonna get jealous and envious of your life. And then what's gonna happen is they're gonna start having conversations about you being in a relationship and you doing this and you doing that. You can't relate to them anyway. You can't. You can't, like, you just, the conversation, you wondering why am I not talking back? Why am I not engaging? Because you can't relate. That's why you're not talking back, because you can't relate. That's not your life. It's not your lifestyle. This is why at work you tend to find yourself, you know, listening to people but not really communicating, like really responding. Because if you were to really respond, you will be offensive. Your life and your mindset will offend people. Why is that? Because you're not living a life feeling sorry for people. No one can knock on your door wanting to stay. I had a family member that was going to stay with me. I was going to let them pay me. Never happened. I called them. They called me. I called them back. I could never find them. That wasn't meant for that family member to stay here. And then I thought about what happened. See, that's why I love the universe. And I thought about what happened. I was like, that person who even offered it, it wasn't even about someone giving me money to stay here. Because that person got money. They can go back to that family member could go back to New York, seriously, with all that money, and they'll be good. They can stay in a shelter for a little while, and I know somebody will give them a place to stay. They can jump on a job. I know they'll be good in New York. They need to get out of here. That's really the situation. But it's probably not easy for them to leave because it's the same thing like when I go to Southside. It just don't feel the same since my grandparents are gone. So that's her parents. So I could imagine. I can't imagine, but I mean I could imagine that kind of pain that's probably there. And then what she has attached there. See? So, um, going back again, you don't feel sorry for people. And so people will resent you for the fact that you made these wise choices. And somebody once told me the reason they get upset is because your life and the things that you're doing makes them feel like they're doing something wrong. That's how it was explained to me. And I was like, that's a little crazy. But that's how they explained it. And for me, I think that there's a level of intelligence that's there because I am aware that people live life differently. Even if I may look at how they live their life and go, I still have an awareness that people's lives are different. I still have an awareness that where I have moved to, that their lives are not the same as the woman up north. Like I have that awareness. I have the awareness of doing things wiser. And so people will resent you for that. It's not that the woman is with a woman, right? Whatever your sexual identification. It's not that. The issue is that there is no relation to talking to you about the bullshit that they want to talk to people about. You have people that think that they can sit here and talk about their horrible relationships with their daughters while you don't have a relationship like that with your daughter. Like, nah, that's my homie, that's my best friend. I don't have those problems. No, we did have our problems, but I sat down and talked to her. They're gonna resent you for that because they don't have the intelligence to do that. You like and this and see, I think that there's intelligence in not feeling sorry for people either. Feel sorry for you for what? This is your energy. This is what you manifested. This is what you created. Now you need to get yourself out this bind. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not about feeling sorry. Somebody at your neighbor, you give them a ride to work, right? And your neighbor pay you. You can see that your neighbor is hustling, working hard, doing what they need to do. You can see all that. There's nothing wrong with that because that's a business exchange between you and the neighbor. The neighbor's paying you. Even if the neighbor like, you can tell me no, you can give me a ride here, and you be like, all right, cool, let's go, and you get paid for that. Then that's not nothing wrong with that because that's a business exchange. You know what I mean? Here's another thing. Let's say you give your neighbor a ride, and your neighbor is not getting personal with you. There's a reason for that. You know why? Because you're their ride, and they're paying you. Nobody gets personal with a Uber driver, right? Nobody. You don't get personal with business. You don't do that, right? I thought that was the rules, right? And that is what becomes a major issue. Okay? And I mean becomes a major issue for people. What reason do you need to get personal with somebody who pays you to give them a ride? Do you sense that maybe some criminal activity going on? Maybe. But other than that, for real though, what reason do you need to get personal with somebody who simply that you give a ride to? It's these types of things. Another thing, why do you care? Why do these people care? I mean, I think asking somebody if they're married is a natural question to many people. It's like a common courtesy question is one turns into. But why does it even matter for someone to ask you these questions because they need to know if they're relatable to what the fucking bullshit of their life. Right? And I mean, I'm telling you the truth, y'all. That's really what it is. I'm counting my money. That's what it is. And so people project. People get mad. People feel some type of way. That's what's so dark about this shit. It's like the same way that I did what I need to do to get my stomach flat, so can you, bitch. But why does it turn into all of this extra shit with people? Because it goes back to what I always talk about, level of intelligence. Okay? So at that level of intelligence, they have not made proper or wise choices. See, as you make the proper and wise choices, you begin to say, like me, you be like, all right, bitch, you need to stop spending money on XYZ. Because if you don't stop doing this shit is going to be your downfall. You need to stop spending money on this and you need to focus your bread on this. That's wisdom. And then taking the proper discipline and the proper action to make sure that that gets done. That's wisdom. Because what comes with wisdom is discipline. I know that sounds kind of crazy to say that, but it does. What comes with wisdom is discipline. Right? Then there comes a major point of cutting people off in your life. What are you cutting off? You're cutting off energy. You're cutting off lifestyles of other people. You're like, I don't fuck with nobody that got multiple kids and multiple baby fathers, and none of the niggas that you had these kids with is helping you. Like none of them, not an ounce of help. And you didn't even put him on child support to make him do his part. I don't really want to fuck with nobody like you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because that's a standard. That's a standard in your life. That's a template of how you live your life. And this person obviously doesn't have one for themselves. And so therefore, you can't fuck with nobody like that. That's why. You can't fuck with nobody like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm being for real. Do you think the successful people that you may follow online right now, do you think that the successful people that you follow online, you think that they give a fuck about that? How do you think they got to what they got to? But here, okay, let me bring the conversation here because I can hear the question. What about these influencers? What about the people who are, celebrities and they be in ratchet, stupid shit and involvement and this and that? I don't follow celebrities like that. See, you gotta check who you be following. I don't follow, and it ain't even just about celebrities, but I don't follow successful people like that. I don't follow successful people who act like that. Excuse me. So you gotta check that within yourself. I don't follow, I only follow successful people that live their life of success. I only follow successful people who have other successful people surrounding them. I don't follow no ratchet person that got money and acting like that. I don't do that. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, feeling the state behind it. I cannot sit here. I don't even like it, don't even matter. See how the thing is? My frequency don't even resonate with those people who are successful in doing the thing that they're doing. My spirit don't resonate. So you have to look at why your spirit resonating with that. Because I could tell you the kind of people that I have listened to at work that watch that type shit. And I listen. Oh, and I listen. And everything is about a husband and how this woman treating her husband. Everything is about how do I say this? Everything is about the son and how the son can't have his life because the mama. Everything is about light skin and dark skin fights. I cannot sit here and watch people waste energy like that when you have an abundance of opportunity in front of you. This is what you behave like. I can't watch that. See, that's alignment in itself right there. Okay, that's alignment in itself right there. Do you get my point? I think you got my point. I mean, I think that once you get of a certain age, it's simple. But what happens with this information, and as you learn it, it's when you have to do the self-reflection that gets a little complicated. When you get into this information, it is the moments of truth, the third act, the moment of clarity, the moment of honesty about yourself. That's what it's about. And once you can reach that moment of truth, moment of clarity, and moment of honesty about yourself, how you live in your life, the choices you're making, and the people around you, and et cetera, that is when the path of having this level of strength begins. It begins with that. Because once you say, oh shit, this is where I've been wrong in my life. Not wrong, but this is the hurdle in my life. Whatever the hurdle says, whatever wound that you never let go of. This is this hurdle right here, however high it may be, depending how low, whatever it is, a hurdle in your life. You just sit there. You like, I never loved myself the way I thought I loved myself. And you really understand what loving yourself is. You really understand what boundaries is. You begin to break through these things. And that's when you stand 10 toes down and can live your life and align it to exactly what you want it to be. You don't feel no type of way, such as myself. You're not a writer. You're not a creative. If you are not doing anything that involves creativity, whether fashion, designing, I'm just throwing these things. There's so many different things to be creative. You could be a comic book editor, anything. You can't be around me. You're not writing songs. You don't play instruments. I mean, sincerely, like that's a part of your lifestyle and what you do. You can't be around me. I'm not wasting my time on the phone with you because you're going to waste time with energetic shit that I don't give a fuck about. If you are not wise enough to stop at the level of how many kids you got, then you can't be around me. And understand the ultimate reason why people like that can't be around you, because you got to protect yourself from them. Because the moment that they're around you is the moment that they're going to hate on you something awful. The moment they're going to put that juju energetically on you, something awful. The moment you show how abundant and happy that you are in your own space without nobody there, they are going to have this hate for you. Why do you think the best friend I had for over since high school, I had to let her go? I felt it. I didn't know why. I was like, she's gonna betray me. She's gonna betray me. I felt it. I have not talked to her ever since I came here because of some shit. I'm gonna tell you two things that happened. It was some shit she said out her mouth, because I don't play that shit, and that fucking weird ass bug she bought in my house. And see, it's little shit like that that people might be like, girl, that's the no, girl, no, 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 no. That means everything. I don't play that shit. I said, what the fuck kind of bug is this in my house? She brought that bitch in here. That was her subconscious. Because here's the thing. This person did not have their own place. I mean, this is the best friend, so I know what's going on. This person, no children, but it's another topic. This person takes care of everybody else. This person did not choose themselves first. This person don't know how to. I could go on and on and on. And the thing is, it's not my fault. Because at the end of the day, think about the things, God damn it. At the end of the day, you got to think about the things that you've cried about, that you got mad about, the things that you felt you could have did better than what you did before. You hold the attitude and the spirit of a successful person. That's why you're so hard on yourself. That's why you're so self-reflective. That's why you're so like, damn, bro, like, I just want to do this better. I just want to learn how to write better. I just want to learn how to expand my vocabulary. I just fill it all in. So when you sit here and you have this type of little increments of recognition, this is when you start to move different. Do I need to heal my mother wound, my father wound, my parent wound? Do I need to heal the womb of being a foster kid, a stepchild? Do I need to heal the womb of abandonment? And so you will begin to start doing that. But what comes with doing that is you begin to build this standard for your life. And so universe is repetitive. So you chilling at Starbucks. Somebody looks good, looks the part, come and talk to you. You ain't got time for the fluff shit. And you can tell that they want to talk to you. You might get to the point in your life, you'd be like, what do you want? They'd be like, what? What do you want? People have conversations with people because they want something. What do you want? You might be bold enough to do that. You might flip it around and be like, what do you do? What you into? You do this, you do that? Oh, no, I want to get your number. Nah. If you don't do none of that, I'm good. And you don't feel no type of way about doing that. But what's even more dope about it is you will carry yourself in such a way that you won't even get approached, because the energy that you carry will pick up that if I approach this person, I better be on point, because that's the energy you really need to get to. What's the problem? I'm going to go back to this. What is the problem with people who go on these relationship shows? The problem is, if you're a six-figure person, as you say that you are, you making this bread like you say you do, then you shouldn't be on this motherfucking person's show who don't make that, talking to them about your relationship life. And even if this person is a Steve Harvey and still telling you to lower down your standards, and you don't need to be talking to that person. And if you're looking for a relationship, you need to be looking at the relationship that you first having with yourself. That question that everybody be like, would you date yourself right now? That question, the deeper part of that question is, do you really love yourself? Do you even like yourself? And what reason do you really want a relationship? Be honest with yourself. Why do you want a relationship so bad? And why do you feel a relationship is going to complete what's in your life? It's these type of things. I had somebody that pissed me off when they said it. I think everything they said pissed me off. They were like, you don't love yourself. And I'm looking at this motherfucker about thinking about how sick they are and motherfucking high blood pressure pills they taking. And I'm just like, yeah, because you do. I'm thinking about this. And it was just a stupid situation. But I thought about it and I'm like, sometimes the universe will use motherfuckers as a catalyst to say something to. And eventually, of course, I don't talk to none of them. And it's not because of that. That's another topic. But that's key. Love is to be given to yourself. The first universal law is self-preservation. And when you're doing that, people don't like you for that. I felt all kind of energies when the landlady came here, right? And I was like, the fuck is this bitch problem? I thought, is it because I painted the walls? Like, what's the problem? And then, like, I sat down with myself and realized, number one, she looked like an ass when she was like, call a gas station, and realized that I was not lying, right? About the gas, because I don't care. Like, I was like, yeah, good, call them, because we got to call them anyway. The shit should have been on 5 hours ago. And then I also picked up, my house is very silent, very, very silent, And I could also sense that it was like, who does she live with? Who's here? I could pick all that up. And for me, it's like, bitch, what does it matter? I'm not breaking my lease. I don't have people that's not supposed to be in here. And I'm thinking all this, like, what's the problem? And the problem, it's people's own internal turmoil. The internal turmoil that you had, you sat down with yourself and meditated. You sat down with yourself and looked in the mirror. You said, if I want this over here, this is my journey over here, then these are the things that have to go. These are the things I have to negate. These are the choices I'm going to have to make in order to get to it. And sometimes you do it and you fall off, and you do it, you fall off, but it's until it's deep inside of you, until it becomes a part of your livelihood, you say, no more. This is the path that I walk. and you be okay with that. You don't give a fuck about the naysayers. It's I am rude. Ask me if I'm married, I'm gonna say hell no. That's my response every time. Hell no. And I told you somebody asked me that at work and I laughed in her face. I cracked the fuck up. I couldn't even control it. And she laughed too. You have to have an energetic confidence about who you are in your life. Do you know if I even tell somebody I got 3 children, they ask me if I'm gonna have some more and I look at them like they stupid. I look at them, I mean, it's like sometimes I just say, hell no, I'm never having no more fucking kids. And that's offensive to people. And you have to be like, are you dumb? And then I try to control myself because I'll be like, if you're talking to me outside of work, I'll be like, you ain't got no hobbies. You ain't got no goals and ambitions. I got goals and ambitions. I got goals and ambitions. There's a lot of things that have to be negated when you have goals and ambitions. You're not just a dream queen or a dream king over here. You got goals and ambitions and you aiming for them. And you know this road ain't easy. This part of life is one of the toughest roads to walk. It's a lot that you got to let go of, bro. I mean, I'm talking about you got to let go of the way you eat, your urges. You got to let go of a mindset that you've been holding. You got to let go of imposter syndrome. You have to build consistency in habits and rituals and patterns, a hypnotic rhythm. There are books that you have to read. You have to be a consistent student, whether you physically go to a college and learn or whether you sit home and teach yourself. You have to be a consistent student. You have people that you look at as mentors and you go and you walk their path. I'm going to tell you something. I love Shonda Rhimes. Lena Waithe is now in the roster, right? Then with Shonda Rhimes, Aaron Sorkin, David Mamet, and like I said, Lena Waithe. Now, Shonda loves Aaron. And I watch Aaron's stuff and I learn from Aaron. But it makes so much sense that Shonda loves Aaron's work. And Aaron Sorkin has his own style of screenwriting. He's developed a style called walk and talk, where characters walk and other characters come in and talk at the same time. And if you look at Shonda Rhimes' style of writing, you can see Aaron Sorkin. You can even see everything. I mean, I didn't see it before. I kind of glimpsed at it, and I saw his style, and I was like, that's how Sean. It didn't hit me right away until she said that, and I said, boom, because that's how you align. So even the people that you use as your mentor energetically, because they will be your mentor, whoever you use as that, you will find that the other people that you like are the people who are their mentors, and it goes and it goes and it goes. This is a path that you walk. And I'm going to be honest with you. The mindset of relationships are going to shift because you're developing a self-love. You're developing understanding the relationship that you have with yourself. You're literally falling in love with yourself. And as you're doing that, what's going to start happening is people are going to start clearing out your life. You're going to start cleaning house. Sometimes some people don't know how to just leave. They got to cause corruption. So you have to kind of sometimes wean people away. Or sometimes you have to let the corruption happen. When the bestie went off and was in my inbox and calling, I didn't answer. She just went off and said the shit that she said. It was like you were nothing but a stranger and this, that, and the third. I let her have that. I let her have it because I had to show her, like, you out of line. You're doing too much. And I gotta go. And this right here is so some people, they gotta get explosive and leave. Let them leave like that. It is what it is. Gotta move on. Can't get caught up in them trying to do expose you, da 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 da. Shit, fuck it. Fuck it. For real, fuck it. Because at the end of the day, it's just showing who they are. Who cares? So another thing, you negate, you clean house, and then you begin to walk this path. And as you begin to walk this path of success and ambition and all this kind of stuff, you'll begin to start meeting these people. You'll meet somebody who works for Shondaland. I mean, I'm just using this example. You'll meet somebody who's a personal assistant for Aaron Sorkin and they do his research. I'm serious. Like, you'll begin to start, your alignment begins to go. And you don't want nothing to interrupt that. That's what it's about. It's not so much of, man, I don't know, man. Something about the way this person wear their damn shoe. Something about the way this person wear their damn shoe. I just can't get over how they wear their fucking shoes. It's something energetic that is there that you feel that you like, I don't want to deal with that. I had a situation like that with my life years ago, and I just had a problem. It's just hit me now. I was just looking like, why her shoe look like that? Why her shoe look like that? And of course, this is a person I had a confrontation with that they started. So these little incremental little things that you'll be picking up with people, you got to listen to that. You don't have to fuck with what you don't want to fuck with. The topic of family, I can't help you with that. It's easy for me to just go away. That's just me. A lot of people don't have that luxury. Some of y'all are very, like, y'all can't get away from your family. And I don't know what to tell you about that. I really don't. That's not something. I'm a grandma's baby, so I can't help you with that. So getting into things further, going back to feeling sorry. You're not going to feel sorry for people when you live your life like this. You're not going to feel sorry for that person that's homeless and need $1. I was sitting down, saw some lady, she was talking about something, 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 hotel, something, something, something. I got in a fight. I got put out. And I passed her $1 and said, girl, stop fighting. And I'm not going to hold you. I was about to entertain the bullshit and want to hear the story. But that, that's neither here nor there. That's life. But honestly, when you are manifesting, when you are achieving something, there is a path that you must walk. And there's a path less traveled. And I say this because I look at my body and I go, yo, I'm tired of looking at my belly. Even though it went down, she would tell me, like, your belly went down. But I'm like, not enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not enough for me. These motherfuckers need to go down a little bit more. Need to be shaped up. I'm not feeling it, right? And so, therefore, I have to take the proper steps in order for that to manifest, in order for that to happen. You want your legs to be stronger, you're going to have to do things to make your legs stronger. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to move. It doesn't matter, even if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and you do it every day for 10 to 5 minutes, 10 to 5 minutes every day. That time counts. You write it down. 5, 10 minutes, squats. I did squats today. I did arm lifting. I did that for a good 10. I did that for 5 minutes. I did that for 7 minutes. I did arm lifting. But you start off small. I did push-ups. The most push-ups I could do is 3, but I did them today. I did my 3 push-ups. You have to start off small. And then there'll be a time where you push your body a little bit more and you get the drinks and you get the foods and you get all what you need to get. But you push yourself. But you have to start somewhere. Even if you sketch for 1 hour a day, because that's the time that you can get it. Even if you can sketch 10 minutes of your 30-minute break at work, you got something in. It doesn't matter. It's the momentum that you are building. You're cleaning up your home. You start with one corner, that's done. You start with another corner, that's done. It's getting done. You might organize something like I did. I took my books and I put the bookshelf area over here in this corner. And I'm like, I think this is better. And that's what I did. And it brought an energetic difference. And then there's other little things that I started to do that brought about an energetic difference. So all of these things add up. All of these things play a part of how you begin to feel for yourself and you don't feel sorry for other people. Because you know why? You don't feel sorry for yourself. See how it works? You don't feel sorry for yourself. So therefore you're not feeling sorry for other people. Why are you the reason you feel sorry for other people is because you feel sorry for yourself. That's how it works. That's the mirror of the universe. Hold on. Let me tell my cousin I'm that's good. Same here. Same here. And so I never mean to be long-winded. I never do. But I just work and talk from whatever examples that I can talk from to bring the clearer picture, the visual of everything that I'm speaking about. And I try to answer whatever I can think of the question may be, whatever. Because I see people who don't even realize that this one thing or this one person in their life is the one thing that is in the way of them opening the gates to their abundance and their success. And I'm sure some of you have experienced that with yourself, or you probably have someone in your life right now, or people you can name right now that have that. There are some people that I have seen where they're fighting every day to do this and do that and do this. And it's like, it really is not a fight to sit down and try to be successful and accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. It's really not a fight. It's really not a fight to say, this is what I need to do. It's a fight internally. Because, like I said, the imposter syndrome, you know what I'm saying? Looking at your body like I need to work out, whatever it is, maybe. But the truth is, these people who are fighting, they're not paying attention to what the problem is or trying to get rid of it. If a family member decides to be a teen mom, I'm not helping that family member because that's not energy that I fuck with. Maybe you should go live with another teen mom, right? You know, you have these people who they're taking care of family members that they do not like. I told somebody recently, I said, you better than me because I wouldn't do it. And these are the things that make you be disliked by people, okay? Because it's like, well, the obligations and the supposed tos do not affect you in your world. The only thing I'm supposed to do is focus on myself and focus on what keeps me thriving and surviving. Not even surviving, but going in life. The only thing I'm supposed to do is focus on this right here that I'm trying to accomplish for myself. I don't have to give a damn about nobody else. That's the only thing that I'm supposed to do. And you sit here and you look at these people and they cause more stress in their life and they want to talk about things. I sat down and listened to somebody because they decided to talk to me about it. And I said, well, why don't they put the father on child support? That was the simple shit I said. I said, why don't they put the father on child support? And they didn't have an answer. They said the father was in jail. Said the father was in jail. And I still was just like, okay. So this young girl had a baby and she not making wise choices of who she's having. Okay. Where this conversation gonna go after this? Then it was like, but then where's this girl's mama? No answer. Wait, like, do I don't want, like, I don't even care for this conversation no more. I'm disengaging now. Even though I said she needs more guidance. She needs to learn more discipline. I'm sure that went on deaf ears. Because you know why? Some people want you to rant and rave like they do. Some people want you to say, oh, well, she need to do this and she needed it. And you're not giving them that. Because why? You are a person of wisdom. And you also are somebody that's like, I didn't make mistakes like this in my life. And if I did, I didn't make them no more, right? You're somebody who's like, yo, I'm not, I can't even begin to say anything about this situation because this is not nothing I ever in my life have experienced, right? Because it's about what they allow and what they attract. Somebody complaining about tired of being and taking care of people and being alone, they full of caca. Because you know, as a person, when you decided you wanted to be alone and you wanted to be unbothered, you made the wise choices for that, right? And even when you went out here to date and you decided that you wanted to fuck whatever you was doing, you make sure you was on birth control or you took the proper precautions to not have that happen, right? So when you look at other people and you hear they shit, something that you can feel. If I say something, if I really say how I feel, this person may get offended. And then there's some people where by the time you get in your life, you probably don't even care if they get offended or not. And sometimes you probably don't even care what they even talking about. Because at this point in our lives, our older lives, it's like, you didn't get it by now? You didn't get it by now? You want this marriage and relationship and you didn't get that by now? You having a hard time with that? You sitting around here and you fucking insurmountable amount of people in these numbers, but then you want to have an honest relationship and never think that that's never going to come back beneath the surface of your life? You think that you can manipulate and play these mind games and it's not going to backfire in your life? So you have all of these people that if you dig into their lives, you will really fuck around and find out exactly what they're energetically doing that they're showing you. You will. You'll be like, oh, now it makes sense that you're going through that. Oh, now it makes sense that you're sick. Oh, now it makes so much sense that you're taking care of that family member. And don't let nobody try to pull you in no shit that you don't want to be in. Don't. Don't let nobody try to pull you in no shit that you don't want to be in. Don't put your, you have to know how to see, I know how to move like a rat. I know how to go here, go there, disappear, go here, chit chat with this person here and disappear in my coworker world. I know how to talk to this person over here about this over here and go over here. I had a recent situation where I told somebody who I work with what somebody has said because I be in their face all the time, and they really took that shit to heart. I was like, "Oop, won't tell them nothing no more. Next time I won't say shit." That's how I move. Sometimes I be like, man, I regret that I even fucking talk to people at my job. I miss when I was quiet, but I realized like I don't give a shit. I can I can just not give a fuck and focus on what I need to focus on. It's work. It's not that deep. And another thing that I think is absolutely key before I go, I think that is key that, let me see if my cousin over here. I think that is key that you just don't make yourself susceptible to being used by people. You don't make yourself susceptible under people's controls and whims. If you feel somebody energy pulling on you strong, that's the moment you say no. That's the moment that you reject. The moment that someone's trying to make you say yes is the moment you make yourself say motherfucking no. Shake your head. No matter what your energy feels, you shake your head no. Okay? Another thing that is pivotal, pivotal. You have to see people for their character. Okay? You have to see people for their character. Somebody you with always got some slick shit to say, that's their character. Things that they come out their mouth, that's their character. Everything, character, girl, character. You have to protect your world, your energetic world that you have built for yourself. Okay? You have to protect the energetic world that, how do I say it? You have to protect the energetic world that you have built for yourself. You have to realize that you've built that for yourself. You understand? You have to realize that the energetic world that you have built for yourself, everybody can't come in. And the energetic world that you build for yourself, no one's going to interrupt it. And you have to build an intelligence to know if you are in front of a poser or a fraud. You have to have the proper way of listening to people, the proper way of knowing, sending people to a certain destination number to reach you, or if at all. I don't get approached because I'm not approachable. And if anybody thinks that they can approach me, most of the time I'm standing next to somebody else. It never fails. When I'm by myself, I am not approachable. But when I'm standing next to somebody else, it's all kind of people in my I don't do it. Oh yeah, it's not yeah. I like I said, I really feel strongly it's not in the universal laws to feel sorry for people. I stand on that shit. I stand on that shit. I don't believe we are. We can have compassion for our parents if we choose to. We can have understanding. We're not supposed to feel sorry. I remember this one chick, right? Uh-huh. Right. Like, example, your mom or whoever your close guardian is in your life doesn't feel sorry for you. There's a different kind of love and compassion that is there because you're her child, right? See, it's not feeling sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for any of my children, but I will have compassion and love as a mother for my children. And I remember this woman who had a dirty house and dirty kids. And then there was a woman who was dating her, right? The woman she had then started dating was better than that woman because shit, she barely even, at the time, she was just moving in her place, so she barely even had furniture in her place, right? Pay attention. But the woman who had the fully furnished house was dirty and her kids was dirty and their hair wasn't done, but they was on TikTok dancing their life away. The woman who was dating her always had something going on with her, always had something wrong, always was fussing, and sad because they left what they wanted to do for themselves to go take care of their parents. Always, always moping, moping, moping. But they still left the woman who was better for them for the woman who had the dirty house and the dirty kids. Basically, she still played her for that woman. Like she still did, she still lied to her over this woman. And the woman who was the better woman for her felt a little sorry for what she was going through. But look what happened to her in the process of that. Why did that happen? Because the moment that she saw that ex-girlfriend that she lived with, the woman she was talking to, was living in that level of filth and nastiness, she should have judged her. She should have judged the fuck out of her and said, bitch, you was living like that with that bitch. This is who you was with. No, ma'am. See the difference? She was supposed to say, no, ma'am. That's what she felt at in this situation. Bella? Had she had that attitude of no, ma'am, had she had that attitude of, oh no, this is disgusting. And you was living like this with this person, and y'all was dancing on TikTok like this. Something ain't right with your self-esteem or your sense of self-worth. See how that goes? Everyone loves Judge Judy but hate to be judged, right? That's real talk right there. Judge Judy be speaking that truth. That's my Libra. That's my Libra buddy right there. She be speaking that truth. She ain't nothing to fuck with, all right? I love my carpet. I feel like I wish it was bigger. And so the woman who felt sorry, it all backfired on her, right? It all backfired on the woman who felt sorry. And so therefore, her feelings, the one who was the decent one, her feelings got hurt, right? But do we feel sorry for the woman whose feelings got hurt? No, we don't. Because when you saw that dirty ass house and them dirty kids and their hair wasn't done, when you saw that this person was in this relationship with somebody like this and being there for somebody like that, you should have looked at, this is who the fuck you are. You just as nasty and filthy as this bitch. You just as nasty. Who you share my link with? You just as nasty and filthy as this bitch. And I don't want to fuck with you. And even if you are creative as me, right? I'm just saying, because she was a creative as well. Even if you are creative, you ain't going to be a successful creative because this is who you fuck with. And then you have to look at the woman who's a decent one and say, well, why did you still continue on with that when you saw that? And so then you have to get inside of her and the choices that she's making. You see how it goes? And this is why you don't feel sorry for me. Who you shared it with? I don't want all these people on my show, girl. I come here to say what I gotta say and go. It's like I'm about to take my shower in another 30. But do you understand where I'm going with this show? I ain't headphone users. I'm about to move some shit. I don't think it's gonna be too loud. It's not gonna be too loud. I figure out what kind of fucking curtain I'm gonna put up over here. I was resting all weekend, y'all. I wasn't playing. My energy is up, baby. I still got my Starbucks. Still got my Starbucks cup with that lavender. All right, headphone users. I gotta move something. Turn your headphones down. That Starbucks shit, girl. I forgot my steamer was over here. I'm about to put some ice in that bitch and some more motherfucking coffee. Word. I need to get some creamer. And so you're not supposed to feel sorry. Because as the comment said, what the comment say? Said when you feel sorry, definitely feel sorry. They said that you lose. Okay, on your page. What page you got? Oh, on your YouTube page. Okay, girl, hold on. Okay, cool. I don't be wanting nobody come up. That's why I be wanting to comment in people's section and shit, and they on their pages and stuff, because I know my comments for some reason when I comment, everybody always see me. I be like, how the fuck do y'all still, out of all these comments, y'all still see my shit? Yeah, steamer. All right. And so, continuing from this topic, y'all. Do I gotta feed Bella? Nah, she good. I'm sweeping here though. Definitely gotta sweep up in here. Continuing from this topic, y'all. And the example I use, the problem in that whole entire situation was this. Okay? This was the problem. The problem is the person, the woman who felt sorry wanted to be with the person who was an artist as herself, wanted to show and be positive and all this stuff with that person. She should have been wise enough to know when somebody is that low, you can't help them. When somebody's life is so low like that, they ain't gonna do nothing but lash out on you. And she had to learn that. She had to learn that people like that are in the situations that they're in because they hold a certain type of mentality. And it's obvious that they don't have self-esteem, because who with self-esteem would want to be with a woman like that who does not keep her children clean, herself clean, but she's shaking her ass on TikTok? And she had to remove her comments because we all know what those comments were saying. When you don't watch 10 videos down just for the sake to see if the bitch did the child's hair, to only see that that child's hair was never done. And you have to say to yourself, you can't fuck with nobody like that, because nobody like that can be helped. And that's the lesson that she had to learn. How you gonna help somebody like that? How? How you gonna help somebody who, good, now I could kill this damn fly. Die, bitch. How you gonna help somebody who can't do basic necessities for themselves or their children? Huh? How you gonna help them? Well, I feel sorry for someone in that very downtrodden position. Uh-huh. You have to start asking yourself this shit. Are you feeling sorry for your cousin because you know this cousin was abused and the mama was on crack and all this and that? Are you feeling sorry for this cousin? But is this cousin showing anything? First of all, the fact that you feel sorry is already the red flag. Okay? I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. The fact that you feel sorry is already a red flag in the situation. It's a red flag because you shouldn't be feeling sorry for nobody. Okay? It's a red flag because I don't think there's a universal law about feeling sorry for people. It's a red flag because that grown cousin that got this and that and this going on in their life It's not your responsibility to try to save them, because that's what you're doing. When you're feeling sorry for people, you're trying to save them from themselves. I forgot I had an electric screwdriver. Damn, I forgot I had this shit. And that's just the facts. Because for what reason do you need to reach out and help them from this, that, and the third? I mean, I'm keeping it a buck with you. You gotta be honest with yourself. Have you ever noticed? See, this is where you gotta pay attention to the hook. When I first got this place, I need you to start paying attention to this, because family members do this dumb shit a lot. They always, when you live alone, when you're child free, they always trying to throw somebody on you as if you're not doing nothing with your life. That is very disrespectful. It is very disrespectful. And the next thing you know, you got your place, you got your going this and that and on, and here they want you to bring in a sibling. Here they want you to move in this. Here they want you to move in all of this and that. And you have to be careful with that, because that very thing or that very person you move in, I don't even accept things from people that want to give me stuff for my house. Like, I don't fuck, y'all know the family members I don't fuck with, and she wanted to give me something, and I was like, hell no, that bitch ain't bringing nothing in my house. Fuck her. I don't need her bad juju on my shit. Yeah, because that's me. And so they will bring certain people around, and do you know those certain family members that you bring around, do you know those be the same family members that are block whatever you trying to manifest? Those people be the very thing that's in the way of blocking what you were trying to manifest. So you got to watch out for that. You got to be careful with people like that. See? Got to watch for the hook, as they say. Because one thing in my experience in life is this, right? It's always when you're shaking and moving that here comes somebody with the bullshit. It's always when you're sitting up and you're grinding and you're making it happen and life is happening, that's when the bullshit come in. You ever notice that? That's when that bullshit come in. And you be like, what the fuck? I just, because people can sense, and I want you to hear me out very closely when I tell you this, and pay attention. People can sense when you are more than what you appear to be. They can sense it. People can sense when you're working that 9 to 5, but they know that this motherfucker ain't just working no 9 to 5. This motherfucker doing something else. You may not realize it. It's in the way you move. It's in the way you talk. It's in the way you carry yourself. It's in a lot of things that tells you. Because I've worked jobs and I could tell the person that I work with has their own business on the side, or they got a company or something. I could tell. The way you think, it's the way you operate at work. And so therefore, you're going to have somebody that's going to prop their head up and try to do everything to get something in your motherfucking way. And it could be your own family. It could be your own mother, your own father, your own grandma. It can be your own, because you have to understand what's going on. Everybody wants to say demons, demons, demons. No, 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 no. Have more responsibility than that. Have more maturity than that. Okay. What's going on is you got to be more, you have to put you, what's happening is you have to do an energetic tweaking. And so that means that you got to stand strong. And what the fuck your convictions are. Can't talk today. Convictions. So in that moment you get that call, is the very moment your ass say no. See? It's tested, it's your convictions. You say you want to save money? I'm going to give you overtime. Let me see what you do with this money. And this time, when you do what you do with this money, are you going to realize where your money is going and you're going to stop? Are you going to stop asking for more money for you to just keep spending it and just looking stupid? What you doing? You get tested by the universe too, baby. The universe will test the fuck out of you. Oh, you said this about yourself. And you said that you want this to happen. Oh, okay. Boom. Now you in front of somebody who's a screenwriter, who's an agent. Pitch your motherfucking script. Have you been prepared? Universe will test the fuck out of you. And when you in spaces like this, where you talking to people and shit and expressing all this type of shit, you gotta be living it. You gotta be living that shit vividly. Because if not, the universe gonna test you on that shit. And who will you always be tested through? You're gonna always be tested through people. Always and forever, honey. You will be tested through people. Because goddamn it, people will test you. And so will the universe. All right? Ain't nothing about these demons out here. These demons out here. No, dude. No, Braxton. When you went out with Mark and Tyler Perry, you should have kept it professional. When you went out and you drank, you should have had some decorum in your drinking. When you was out and you said you had admiration for them, and that's fine. You should have kept it professional. And so now you got tested. And what you doing now that you got that opportunity that a lot of people wish they could have had and would have did something different than you? See how that works? See how the universe works when it comes to these different things? And then you want to attack Tyler Perry. Wait a minute. I thought Mark was the one who violated you. Why are you not attacking Mark, bro? Why Mark not getting attacked? Why Tyler Perry getting pulled in this shit? What happened? Thought it was Mark that was the problem. See how it works? See how that shit works? Okay? Okay. Now, another topic. Well, no, we're still on the same topic. You sit here and you say, want to work out, want to lose weight. Let me tell you, this one right here is my favorite one. Sit here and you say, want to work out, want to lose weight. Matter of fact, you can say it in your mind. You know you can manifest
This one, my favorite one, right? And this one is, you say you want to lose your belly. Say you want to lose weight, right? Because you can manifest things in your thought. You say that, just something small. Next thing you know, you drink something and you dumping everything out in that goddamn toilet. You hear me? Everything you is just dumping out, dumping out. Next thing you know, everything you eat, drink just start flipping out of you, okay? And then you say, you get comfortable, like, damn, my belly went down, my belly went down. And next thing you know, you back on your bullshit. You feel me? You back on that bullshit. Eating that bullshit again, right? One second. You back on that bullshit. Now you gaining weight. Now you gaining weight. And you mad about it because you ain't listened to yourself the first time. Right? Let me give another one. You losing weight, right? Or you said you want to lose your belly, so now you losing your belly. Everything coming out, you losing your belly. That's how you gotta lose it, right? You gotta either burn it or it gotta come out. Clean that colon out. Somebody want to cook you something. Okay? Somebody want to cook you something or make you something at work. In that moment, that person's not a demon. That person's not a devil. That's the universe testing your convictions. I can't say convictions today. That's the universe testing you. So in that moment, you're going to be like, nah, I'm losing my belly. I ain't eating that shit. You're going to be respectful and say, nah, I ain't all that food. Nah, I'm losing my belly. No matter how nobody else feel. Sometimes it may happen to you where you have to wake up and say, nah, I got to get serious about this shit. I got to get real about this shit. I got to figure this shit out. Testing your convictions. You know why? Because no story of the hero's journey is ever easy and breezy. We love to see the hero fight. Batman, The Dark Knight Rises is my favorite example of that. I cried watching that. His back was broken. He was broken, literally, and he still got the fuck up and climbed to the top. That's what you have to do. That's what life is going to do to you. I didn't realize this. Like, why the fuck is this person flipping out? Why I gotta go to the result? It's almost every time I think about this person I had this situation with, no matter how I played that story, I went to, and I was in college. No matter how I played it out in my mind with that person, I went to jail every time. And then what happens too with the universe testing you is you'll be able to see things a mile away. I don't really want to fuck with that person like that. That person, like the way they moving. I don't really want to fuck with them like that. I don't know. Something about it. Oh yeah. Gotta hold on to that. It's going to come with crying and pain. Working your body out is going to come with pain. Even if you get, you could get your muscle relaxers and all that stuff too. But it's going to come with pain. There's no other way around it. Sitting down in your life and healing your wounds from your childhood that comes with pain. Going to therapy, grounding yourself, and facing the things that you've never faced before. If you have a very good therapist, it comes with pain. But pain doesn't have to be the motivation. See? Pain don't you get through the pain. You get through your life. You work through your life. You walk through your life. You get through the fire. But then after you do that, you go and do the things that you set out to do. You go for the things that you set out to manifest. You're not over here listening to me for no reason. Your life is different. If you're over here listening to me and you really listen to me, your life is different. Your mindset is different. You don't read the books that everybody else read, if they even read. You don't think about things the way that everybody else do. That's why you're here with me. You have set a standard and a pace for your life that many people do not. You understand things in ways that many people do not. That's why you're over here with me. I promise you. There would be no other way for you. There would be no other reason for you to be over here with me. Unless that is your life. All right? Another thing that's key, and I mean very key, that you must know. I remember when I sat here and I was alone for a while. When I was really with myself. That was when I was like 35 years old. And as I sat here with myself, I was like, damn, yo. For real, I was like, damn, yo. Like, I had to get used to myself. And so, because I had to get used to myself, it took a lot. It took a lot. And what began to happen is I started doing all the things that I love to do. I started doing all the things that I cared about. You know what I'm saying? I started doing all the things that that mattered to me, basically. But still, I had got to a point where I felt like I wanted to give up everything. I don't want to do nothing no more. I didn't feel the same energy I felt when I was doing it. And I just wanted to just walk away, right? So eventually, of course I never did. I kind of slowed myself down a lot. But what happened was, where is my thumb at? What happened was, I started to realize the energy around me and where I'm at. That's what happened to me. I started recognizing, I didn't know I had thumbtacks. Do I have a lot more? I got all these paper clips. And I started realizing that it was the energy of the space that I'm in. But it took me, honestly, to be with myself completely. You know what I'm saying? To pick it up. That it was the energy of the space that I'm in, right? And so, my point is, You have to be in tune of what's around you as well. Here in this area of the Carolinas that I'm in, these people do not have confidence in themselves whatsoever. These people do not have any authenticity. Bella, I'm about to leave you in a room. You scratching up my fucking couch. These people don't have authenticity or a sense of self. And therefore, this is why they come to a lot of the turmoil that they have within themselves. So how do you fight that? You do the spiritual work that you need to do. Okay? You have to be in tune. You do the spiritual work that you need to do. You not only do you do the spiritual work that you need to do for yourself, but you fight harder for being and leaning into yourself. I would suggest energetically events, circles, parties. You don't eat the food of the people there. I suggest that one very strongly. I also say do your spiritual baths, because all of these things will help tune you back into yourself. And if you ever have a place in your life where it's time for you to relocate or do something, because I feel like wherever you at, you bring your energy. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever have a space like that, that will come in time for you, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That stuff will come in time. And therefore, another thing that I believe is very key is that you can learn how to tune into yourself energetically a lot more. Like you can literally get books, learn how to do intuitive meditation and healing work to know how to focus on yourself a lot more. It's very key. The reason you have to learn how to heighten your intuition, because I'm learning now that I'm about to do stuff to heighten my intuition more. It's been a while, but now I'm at a place where I'm like, I need to heighten my intuition more, right? So sometimes you may have to put the work in to build that. Because see, the place I lived in it for so long, and I did so much spiritual work in that house. I did spiritual work in here, but I have to put more energetic spiritual work in this place. You understand what I'm saying? Like way more energetic spiritual work in this place. Because there's certain things energetically that I can sense. And it's not comfortable. I'm like, something has to be turned up and tweaked. I think I need to do a whole smoke out in my house in meditation. See what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you always keep yourself spiritually guarded. You can probably feel somebody gossiping about you. It's so much things that it could be. So always, and sometimes energetically, you're feeling the people around you as well. Okay. So that's another thing, right? Because energy is very key here. You have to protect your energetic space 100%. Do you hear me? You have to protect yourself energetically 100% as well. You have to be honest with yourself as well. Because I just need to take a shower right now and put on my Florida water. But a lot of these things, you need to know that what comes with being with you is going to come with a lot of people not liking you. But you're not going to care because you got to care about the people that you want to like you. Why do you care? And I'm telling you, this is the key. It's peaceful. This kind of life is peaceful. And people can sense your peaceful life. And therefore, you got to understand that you got to move on from people who feel some type of way about you being at peace. It don't matter. It really don't matter. All the things I've experienced in my life with people that I've experienced it with, I can tell you I do not care. I can I'm really at a point in my life where I just do not care. I'm at a point in my life where I need to turn the phone on. I'm at a point in my life where it feels like, how do I say it? It feels like, I don't even think this piece works. As long as I'm going for what I'm striving for, that's the only thing that matters. And as long as I align myself with those who stand in alignment with myself, that's all that really matters. That's it. That all that really matters, because a lot of times on this path, no, seriously, on this path, you're going to have people that are going to be curious about you. Prepare for that too. They're going to be curious. They're going to want to be around you, or they're going to want to ask you questions. That happens a lot too. Then another thing that happens a lot is that you are going to experience extreme gossip about you. But there's ways around handling that. You're going to experience extreme gossip around you, right? But here's the thing about that. There's always going to be somebody who's so eager to tell you what somebody is saying about you. And here's my tip to you. After they tell you what that person said, you cut that motherfucker off too. That's how you do it. Okay? This road is not an easy one, but you have to work with where you are at. I'm being for real. You have to work with where you are at. You have to check yourself if you're taking things too personal in life that doesn't matter to you, such as work world shit. You have to check yourself if you find yourself getting caught up in shit that you know for damn sure that you don't give a damn about. You have to catch yourself. You have to catch yourself when you are getting emotionally overwhelmed by anybody. And I mean by anybody. When you're finding yourself getting emotionally overwhelmed or emotionally caught up by things that should not matter. You have to catch yourself. Anyway, this topic has been fun. I mean, it has really been fun. I have to shut it down from the other side and go take a quick shower. And you have to compartmentalize the people you associate. I don't have, my social life is my cousin Kira, my cousin Kira, and my social life is T. And all of you already who've been listening, y'all know who T is. That's my social life. And if I decide most of my rest of my life is spent on masterclass, learning something, taking things in. Now I'm about to go into writing things down more. Most of my social life is when I go to work with coworkers. That's the most of my, and then after the coworkers and stuff, like I really don't even fuck with nobody after that. I even stopped myself from talking to coworkers after work, calling coworkers. I stopped doing that shit unless it involved work. I cut that shit out. So that's a bit of my control. That is my controlled social life. And the more I've been focusing on what I've been doing with the studying and all of that stuff, I'm eventually going to go into a full hermit mode. I'm going to go into full, I already see it. I'm about to go into full hermit mode. And when I go into full hermit mode, that's the time when I know that it's going to be me pretty much getting more into myself. And I know when I go into hermit mode, that's when I'm going to be more getting into the things I'm eating and consuming and how I want to eat at work on a consistent basis. That's what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? So these are the little things in my life that I have come to and have come to realize and I'm coming to doing. And so when I get up here and I speak, I'm living everything I talk about, or I have lived everything that I talk about. Right? Damn, I took the wrong person from the stage. I'm a bounce. I'm echoing and shit. I'm out of here.